Hey there YouTube, it's me wldnas. Welcome to my channel and welcome to the second of this month's unboxing videos. Now you've probably seen from the thumbnail that this is rather a special unboxing video because I've finally acquired my Holy Grail. That's the figure that I've been lusting after for so many years. My holier than thou Grail, the figure that I want probably more than any other Transformers figure, and I've finally got one. Now before I actually show you what I've got, I'd just like to say to a Transformers collector, what constitutes a Holy Grail? Now, some might say it's a figure that is, let's say, very rare. Let's say an original G1 figure, let's say G1 Overlord, for instance. He's quite a rare figure. Or let's say Black Zarak, because, very rare figure, obviously riddled with gold plastic, getting hold of a mint complete one, extraordinarily rare, and goes for a lot of money. There's other things like convention exclusives, convention repaints, or retail exclusives, or let's say territory exclusives, figures that are only available, let's say Japanese releases, or convention repaints. They're quite exclusive and done in limited numbers and can go for a lot of money. And also, it's basically a figure that you've been wanting to get, but whenever it's something that's very, very rare, like basically made out of pure unobtainium, you very rarely ever see one. And when you do see one, it's always somebody who's got one who's asking, an extraordinate, scalper premium, aftermarket premium for it. So that's basically the essence of what a Grail is. Now, this particular figure, I've been wanting one for, I would say, 7 to 8 years. I can remember it coming out initially. I think it originally got released in 2014. It was a third-party Masterpiece figure. At the time, I've never really collected Masterpieces, but I never really wanted to collect this particular group of Masterpiece characters. But over the years, I've picked up a few characters from other manufacturers. And I decided, you know what, I want to have a set of Masterpiece Dinobots, but I want to be an awkward bugger and have one from a different manufacturer. Now, technically, this is impossible, but also technically it is possible, depending on how pernickety you want to be. So I currently have Masterpiece Grimlock. He's actually in here, the official MPO5. I've got the Fans Toys Snarl or Sever. I've got the Gigapower Gravitor, or their Sludge. And I've got Bullsfire Airstrike for my Swoop. So all I need is a slag. And the only Masterpiece slags that are out there are Fans Toys Scoria and the Gigapower one. I can't remember what the name of it off the top of my head. However, there is another option. Fans Toys bought out their Iron Diebots back in the mid 2010s, and their Scoria, their slag, was a bit crude, shall we say. Especially in Dino mode, it looked like a potato because of the rounded shape of the body, and people a bit sneered at it at the time. So Fans Toys decided to have a second stab at it. So they did a rework, they did a brand new mould, but instead of doing it as like a Scoria 2.0, they released it in a subline, or a new company, shell company that they invented, called Perfect Fusion. And I am of course referring to Perfect Fusion PF01 Cesium. Now this was a Masterpiece slag. I'm going to call him Slag because I live in the UK. I've got no problem calling him Slag. Or you can call him Slug, but I'm calling him Slag. Anyway, Masterpiece Slag. It was pure plastic, no die cast, and it retailed for about, I can remember it being about 120, 130 UK pounds when it came out. It didn't take off, it didn't sell great numbers, it sort of came and went. But over the years, Masterpiece collectors have been picking them up, especially those people collecting, I think, the Fans Toys Dinobots, because Scoria, they needed an upgrade to their Scoria, so they've been picking them up. And these things, They got hoovered up. And the figure has still been in demand, and as a result the price of this thing just crept up and up and up and up and up. And I passed on a couple in previous years. I can remember seeing one that was on a buy it now on a UK seller for 185 quid plus postage, and when you added the postage to it, which is about 25 quid, it pushed it over my £200 threshold, you know, like my stigma I got for, you know, buying figure over 200 quid, which I had at the time. I've since gone over that figure, but anyway, I had an upper ceiling of how much I was prepared to pay for a Transformers toy, which was 200 quid. And then there was another one I was chasing on eBay on an auction, and when it went north of 200 quid, I stopped chasing it, and the other guy got it for about 225 quid. But I've since seen this figure go for like 400 plus. I've seen some people asking 700 and maybe over 1,000. I don't know. I've seen it going for absolute ridiculous sums of money, and I'm not prepared to pay that. So I've patiently been playing the waiting game, waiting for one to crop up at a sensible price. Ain't going to happen. And Fans Toys, who released the original, people kept asking them, when are you going to reissue, you know, Perfect Fusion Cesium? And they said never. They're never going to reissue it. And then back in February, what happened? Pre-orders went up for the reissue of Perfect Fusion Cesium. So I found out about this, and I had to rush out and pre-order one. Now, I would have liked to have got it from Show Z. Unfortunately, Show Z's pre-order had gone. So I thought, where else can I get it from? And I noticed TF Direct still had it on their books, and I thought, well, I've got an account with TF Direct. I'm not a fan of dealing with TF Direct these days for one reason or another, but I decided to buy it from TF Direct. They didn't know what the full price was going to be, so it was a pre-order deposit for $20, and I think I managed to get a little bit of a discount on it, so it was about £16, something I paid. Anyway, that was back in February. More recently, news has filtered through, this figure's finally getting released. So I was waiting for my notification from TF Direct to pay the pre-order balance payment, which would have been to the tune of like 150, 160 quid. So on the 23rd of July, I got notification that from PayPal that I had to pay an invoice from TF Direct to the tune of just over $200, and it was about just under 160 quid. So I paid it, and then it was a case of, you know, when am I going to get notification from TF Direct? I didn't. TF Direct did not notify me to say I had paid them this, you know, the pre-order deposit. And then I got an email from them on the 28th to say that they had dispatched the item. They gave me a tracking code. When I put it into my parcel tracker app, it came up, number doesn't exist. And it was like that for a couple of days. So then I said, it looks like a Royal Mail, you know, tracking code. So I put it into the Royal Mail tracker, and sure enough, it said package has been picked up on the 26th of July. So it was picked up, it was collected by Royal Mail like 2 days before, you know, TF Direct informed me that they'd shipped it. Anyway, the tracking code hasn't worked very well. The package, you know, my packing app just my package tracking app just said it had been picked up on a certain date. That's all it said. The Royal Mail, when I checked the code the other day, it said it's been picked up, you know, from the sender, and it's arrived at the UK super hub in the north of England. Anyway, today, Saturday the 2nd of August, I did my volunteer working bit at Bury, hence the reason why I'm in my work clothes, and I got notification from Royal Mail to say your package is out for delivery, and I thought, oh shit. I thought, I haven't left my safe place open. So I hurriedly went onto the Royal Mail website, and I said, right, I want to re-deliver it on Tuesday the 5th, because, you know, I should have my safe place open and that should be good. Because when I checked it before I came home from Bury, it said package has been delivered, and it said has been left shed. And I thought, shit, I haven't left my safe place open. So when I got home, I was expecting to see it, you know, propped up against the side entrance door. Obviously, when I got home, I checked the side entrance door and it was open, and there was the package. So I had inadvertently left the side entrance open door, because when I was loading the car up last night, I was going backwards and forwards, you know, taking things in and out, and I must have inadvertently left it unlocked. So that it was lucky that I did. Anyway, here is the package. In here is my Holy Grail, the figure that I have been after for so many years. Now, the other question I'm going to say before I open this, if you have a Holy Grail that's a figure that's like unbelievably rare and extraordinarily expensive, and then all of a sudden it gets reissued by the company that makes it, and they're selling it again at a sensible price, is that figure then still a Holy Grail? Because obviously before it was like really difficult to get hold of, and now all of a sudden it's readily available. Is it still a Holy Grail? That's another question for you. Anyway, here we go. Let's see this thing. Like I said, I've been after one of these for like 7 to 8 years. And like I said, I've passed on a couple of them, and whenever I have seen it available for sale, it's going for outrageous scalper premiums. Just ask Bobby the Bot from Bot vs Con, because he went and paid out like over $700 for one, and then found out that it had been reissued for $200, and he was sick as a parrot. Anyway. Get the wrapping off. What's in the box, Wilderness? There it is, baby, the Holy Grail. And obviously it's got Perfect Fusion Toys 2025 instead of 2014, which the original was on. There he is. Now, yes, this is made by Fans Toys, but you look on this package. Where does it say Fans Toys on this package? It doesn't. And Fans Toys, they've done this thing every now and again where they make a shell company to sell their figures. Like, this was the first time they did it with Perfect Fusion. But more recently they've got Robot Paradise. And then they've got, you know, Fantastic Model. So they've got 3 different shell companies for, you know, selling products from themselves, which is a bit weird. But there it is. There is my Holy Grail. I've finally got one. And it cost me... It's on my list of most expensive figures that I own, but it's way down the list because there's a lot of things above it which are way more expensive. I think it's all up is about 107. It's probably about 170 odd quid I paid for this, which is a lot of money. But when you consider the prices it did go for, the original 2014 issue went for. Now, one thing I'm interested to see, have they made any improvements to it? Because the original figure was prone to breakage, and it was a fully plastic figure. It didn't have any die cast on it, but I've heard rumours that this reissue has got die cast on it. It'll be interesting to see if it has. But anyway, there it is, Holy Grail, baby. I finally got one. Ah, it's mine. So there we go. That is my second unboxing for this month, the month of August 2025. I've finally got my Holy Grail. So now I've got to figure out what my next Grail is. That might take me a while. But anyway, I've been TFL Wilderness. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you all next time. Ta-da.